Hi, have you been dealing with some pain down the arm, some numbness and tingling possibly, maybe even feeling cold in your fingertips that might be accompanied by some lower neck pain, some shoulder pain, or even some trap pain? If you are, this video might be for you. You might be dealing with a little bit of a smaller dose of thoracic outlet syndrome. These are some of the symptoms that you get when you're dealing with this. So thoracic outlet syndrome is just when some of the nerves and blood vessels that come through the collarbone and the first rib here, where they track down into the arm, they can get compressed by some of the structures and the soft tissue there. And that can lead to some of the symptoms that might feel like nerve issues, or coldness in the fingertips, which is more of a vascular and arterial issue. So when that happens, we can get some of these symptoms. You might even feel like you have carpal tunnel and tried some carpal tunnel treatments and that hasn't worked. If that's you, give these a try also. Okay, this first exercise is a pin and stretch to the scalenes, which are 3 different muscles in the neck that sort of surround those nerves and arteries that come straight through that thoracic outlet region. So the first is going to be anterior scalene. It's going to be on the very front here, just above the collarbone here. So this is the anterior scalene where we're going to pin. Then the middle scalene is about an inch behind that. And then the posterior scalene is about a half an inch behind that in front of the trap. So we're going to have the big trap here. We want to make sure we stay in front of that, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to use our opposite hand. We're going to take 2 fingers and we're going to press the anterior scalene. We're going to put a little bit of a light pressure. For the anterior scalene, we're going to turn away from that side. So we're going to look away, and then we're going to bring ear to shoulder in that direction here. You'll feel a nice stretch through here. We're going to count to 5 seconds. Then we're going to return back to neutral. We're going to do 10 repetitions on the anterior scalene. Perfect. Then we're going to come back. Then we're going to move our fingers over to the middle scalene here, which is about an inch behind. Put some downward pressure. Then we're just going to go straight to the side for the middle scalene. Again, we're going to hold for 5 seconds. Then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to repeat this for 10 repetitions. And then after 10, we're going to shift back about another half an inch onto the posterior scalene. Then we're going to go to the side and bring our head slightly forward here. And you'll feel that a little more on the back side here. Again, we're holding for 5 seconds, returning back to neutral. And we're going to do this for 10 repetitions. We're going to do 2 to 3 sets for each scalene. This next exercise is another pin and stretch exercise, but it's going to be for the pec minor. So the pec minor is a small muscle that starts here and drops all the way down going this way. What that does is that puts a lot of force and anterior force here, which then creates compression through this region also. So what we're going to do to find that pec minor, we're going to track along the clavicle here. Right where the clavicle starts to drop back, we're going to drop down about 3 inches or so. And then we're going to take our 2 fingers of our opposite hand and push it down and press in. It should feel a little tender there. Once you find that spot, then you're going to lift up that same arm all the way up, and you'll feel it start to stretch a little bit more where your fingers are located. We're going to pause for a second, then we're going to bring it back down. And you can just leave the finger there and just focus on moving the arm. We're going to repeat this for 15 to 20 repetitions for 2 to 3 sets. Okay, so this next exercise, we're just working on extension of the upper thoracic spines. We're going to use this. It's just 2 lacrosse balls taped together. You can use tennis balls or any other sort of balls as long as they're the same size. So we're going to be lying down on this, and it's going to start here right where the large spine sticks out. We're going to go just under that, and we're going to work a few different segments dropping down to about midway through our scapula. Okay, so we're going to take this Peanut, and she's laying on her back. We're going to place this just underneath that, and then she's going to lay back down, and then she's going to put her hands behind her head, and she's going to squeeze her elbows, and then she's going to lift her elbows up. That's going to force those spines into extension. We're going to hold for 2 or 3 seconds and then bring them back to neutral. You don't have to wrench on your head, just bring it back to neutral. We're going to repeat for 10 repetitions. After 10 repetitions, we're going to slide this down 1 segment, and you can just roll up on the ball so it rolls down a little bit. And then we're going to repeat the same process for 10 repetitions. Then we're going to roll up another segment. For 3 to 4 segments, doing the same thing for 10 repetitions. So now we're going to do an engagement exercise that just helps tie everything in together after all of that pin and stretch exercise. So we're going to start with the foam roller on the midline of our spine, vertical up against the wall here. We're going to make sure it's high enough so that her head can rest against the foam roller so that she's not drifting her head forward or putting her head in weird positions. So we're going to start with our fingers interlaced against our belly here, nice and relaxed. That prevents us from bringing our elbows way back like this. So we're going to start there. Then we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together here. Not too much to the point where our shoulders shrug up like this. We're trying to keep them nice and down. So we're going to squeeze and engage. We're going to hold for 10 seconds, making sure our head stays against the foam roller. Then we're going to relax. Then we're going to squeeze again. Hold for 10. And relax. We're going to repeat this for 20 repetitions for 2 to 3 sets. I hope these exercises help you. Thanks for watching. If they don't help, please go see a professional near you or consult your doctor. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.